Hey guys, how is everybody doing? Sorry that this review is a little late. Life got ahead of me, stuff ended up happening to where I couldn't get this video out in time. I couldn't find any time to really get this video shot and then edited, but I finally found some time. And yes, I have checked out Saw X already. I did my little video to where after I come out of the theater and give you my quick thoughts and what I thought about it and everything. I have seen Saw X. If you want to hear my quick thoughts on it, go check that video out. But you might have to wait till like Monday or so until my complete Saw film ranking to when I get into more thoughts about that. But nonetheless, we're not here to talk about Saw X. We're here to talk about Spiral from the Book of Saw. Right off with my positives on Spiral from the Book of Saw is what this franchise has always been known for, and that is the traps. The traps in this movie are fantastic. They feel like Saw. They're all gnarly. They're all gritty. My favorite trap is when the dude has like his tongue in like this trap because this movie tackles dirty cops and he was a liar. He lied and got people into jail when they shouldn't have been in jail basically, and so he has to rip off his tongue to survive. I really like that trap where I also like the trap where the guy was like trigger happy, apparently, where he shot a guy because he flipped him off and shit. And so he has to bite down on a device to rip off his fingers. I thought that was a great trap. I loved almost all the traps in this movie. They were all creative, they were all smart, they had their own unique things to it. It felt like Saw where each trap to where it matched what that cop apparently did to end up in that trap was what I loved. They felt like it just felt like Saw, and what I could tell that the gore that they did use for the traps, so they used very little to like no CGI. I could tell that there was a few CGI shots, but the gore for the traps and the gore in general in this movie was really good. The traps and the gore combined, it felt like Saw, and it was awesome about one of the stars of this movie, and that is Samuel L. Jackson. Now, he's not in the movie too much. He's not in the movie throughout the entire runtime of the film. He's not in like a huge, big role like he usually is because Sam Jackson is apparently in almost every movie nowadays. But Sam Jackson is great in this movie. He's fun. He's Sam Jackson. He does what he does best. He delivers a great performance. I'll talk about another big name in this movie later, but Sam Jackson, you can never miss with him, and he's almost there, reaching his goal, being in every movie possible. I really like the Seven feeling of this movie, where it's like a detective story where you really just see the cops throughout the entire movie trying to figure out the Jigsaw copycat. A lot of people have their issues with this movie. That's why some people said they didn't like it because it was more Seven than it was Saw. But that's what I always felt that the filmmakers were going for in this movie, is that they tried to make it like Seven, but it had Jigsaw instead. I love Seven. Seven is one of my favorite movies of all time, and when you bring it into the Saw world, to me, it for some reason worked. Even when I watched this in the theater, when it first came out, I was like, you know what? I kind of dug that Seven feeling of the movie. For some reason, I've always dug it. Every time I rewatch this movie, I'm like, I love that Seven feeling. It's so great. It's so giddy and everything. Now, I understand if you have your issues with it, but I like the detective side of this movie where I don't think any other Saw movie actually did this to where it felt different too, where that's why another reason why I like it because it's different instead of people in a room together trying to solve all these traps and everything. Instead, they did something different. They brought it into a police department. They brought it into a detective story, trying to figure out who the Jigsaw killer is. I like that. If you don't, I understand why people don't, but to me, it just offered me something different for this Saw universe. Final positive is something that I love that this movie did, and again because it was different, is that the Jigsaw killer, the Jigsaw copycat, goes after dirty cops instead of just people who don't appreciate their life, they don't appreciate their blessings, as Jigsaw once said. But instead, this guy goes after dirty cops. He goes after cops that are dirty, that basically are horrible at their jobs and doing stuff that they are doing that is illegal, so he goes after them. I like that. That is something different. Like I said with the Seven feeling, that's the reason why I like it because it's different. It offers me something new from the Saw universe instead of it just being the wash, rinse, repeat film over and over. Instead of just people who don't care about their lives, he goes after dirty cops that he feels that need to face justice, that need to be in these traps. I like that. I don't understand why some people don't like that. Yeah, it is different. It might throw off a lot of Saw fans off that it doesn't feel like Saw to them, that it's not really a Saw film to them. I like it, and I'll never understand why some people just don't care for it. That's my mixed aspect, not nixed. I don't think nixed a word. Mixed aspects, and starting off with it is Chris Rock. I love Chris Rock. He is a great actor. He's a great comedian. He has great comedy in this movie, which you have to do if you're gonna have Chris Rock in your movie, if you ask me. But he does do good in this. I do feel that he's a pretty good actor. But where it comes in my mixed aspects is some of his acting in this movie to where it's just like he gives like really like every time he's serious and mean, he'll go like, "You gotta give me this case. I gotta get this case." It's like, dude, close, unwiden your eyes, like close them. And some of his lines are like, "Do you want to do a retake on that?" Like, "That was just a distraction to get us out of the police station." It's like nobody says it like that, dude. Look, I love Chris Rock. He's a great actor. He's a great comedian. But his acting in this movie was a little bit over the top, and some of his lines just downright fell flat for me. And I also for the marketing of this movie, by the way, dude, Chris, did somebody hate you? Because whoever whoever did the marketing of this movie probably hate you, probably hated you because a lot of all of your bad lines in this movie were put into the fucking trailers. It's like, dude, holy shit. Mixed aspect for this movie is the flashbacks in this movie. Now, Saw has always been known for their flashbacks, their kind of describing things from flashbacks, seeing characters in flashbacks. Saw has always been known for that. Where it falls in my mixed aspects is because it will happen randomly to give off why Chris Rock's character in this movie doesn't like this character and why these people are in a trap, like what happened here years ago. Now, to me, that is pretty cool. It gives me explanation, and not just because Zeke just doesn't like this guy. But no, it's actually showing us why he doesn't like them. But where it falls in my mixed aspects is because they do it too much in this movie to where it's boring, and Saw has been doing that for years now. It's like, can we stop? That's what I loved about Saw X, is that they did not do that. But in this movie, they do it so many times that it's just repetitive and boring. But however, it does give me more explanation on the Zeke character and why he doesn't like certain characters in this movie. That's my negatives, and I only have one issue with this movie, and that is the twist. The twist, it really disappointed me. Even when I watched it in the theater, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck were they doing here? The twist of this movie, to where I felt it was plainly obvious. Once we got to know this character for like 10, 15 minutes, I was like, he's a Jigsaw copycat. It's this guy right here. To where it's Zeke's partner of this movie. I forget his name. It's like Chris or something. I can't remember. But anyways, it turns out that he is the Jigsaw copycat. It's like, well, yeah, no shit. Like I saw that coming a mile away. I don't know why. I don't know why they tried to trick us. And then apparently, like especially the twist where we find out who it is. Zeke just walks into a room and he's just standing there by a table, leaning on it with like McDonald's and Wendy's behind him and shit. It's like, to do your awesome reveal, you just have the motherfucker standing there. That's not a cool way to show off your apprentice. It's like, did you guys just give up? Did you guys only have like 2 minutes left to write? And so you just fucking rush it like, oh shit, we're just gonna have him stand there. Nothing cool's gonna happen. It's like, couldn't you have done something cool, something better than that? Instead of just a guy just sitting there looking like a cool guy on like an album cover from the 90s, like a boy band, just going, that's basically how he was. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Well, guys, I like Spiral. This is one of my favorite entries into the franchise. Spiral is a great follow-up to the Saw franchise. It gives the franchise new life. I honestly would love to see a sequel to this movie, but I highly doubt it would happen because this movie only made $40 million at the box office worldwide against a $20 million budget. I feel that also has to do with the fact that COVID was still around when this movie came out, because this movie came out in 2021, and that's when COVID was still around and people were kind of freaked out by it, which I understand. But hopefully, one day we'll get a sequel to Spiral. So, if you are a fan of the Saw franchise and you want to see it to go in a different direction than the others did, Spiral is definitely for you. But I will admit it won't work for everybody. But for me personally, I would say to go out and buy Spiral. What do you guys think of Spiral? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Do you like Spiral? Do you not like Spiral? Let me know in the comments below and we will talk about it. And this was my final review on the Saw franchise. Look out tomorrow or possibly Monday for my ranking of all Saw movies. And then whenever that video goes live, my next video will be my top 10 favorite Saw traps. And I might have one more video out, one more Saw video out for you. We'll just see what time does with me. But thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, like it. If you loved it, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will get notified for my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you next time.